to Same Book, Three Time Zones, your book review podcast. Enjoy!
Hey people, this is Renee.
And Bridget.
Talisha.
And this is episode 24 of Same Book, Three Time Zones. We've been doing this for a good old 2 years.
2 years.
2
years.
You know, reading and supporting our Black authors. So January 2021 book of the month was Before We Were Wicked by Eric Jerome Dickey. Okay, he passed away, of course, earlier this month, which was like, I don't cry. Let me tell you something. I don't cry after nobody's passing. No celebrities or anything. I say a prayer for their family and the people, people who knew them personally. And then I move on. Okay, when I saw that, I actually shed a couple, it really hurt my feelings. Because I feel like when you feel like you know somebody, when you really know, because I remember when I was like, maybe like 18, 19, that's what I was thinking about possibly like writing. And I used to be obsessed with like him and Zayn and Omar Tyree. I used to like obsess over them. I would read all the interviews I could find with them, like all the reader advice or writer advice they would give out. And I remember reading this article from him, and he was talking about how new authors, when they come in, they used to, treat it like a craft. And I was like, oh man, he said I do that, so I need to learn how to write. I was like, I'm not going to jump in here and just do anything because of what he said. And I was like, okay, I need to learn this, need to learn that before and I remember, I always remembered that. But I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And, they inspired me to want to do this because I'm like, oh, Black people, we can write about people that talk the way we talk, do the things we do.
Right.
So I thought that was like really amazing when I first, started reading their books, and then to see that would hurt my feelings, y'all. That really did. Rest in peace, paradise, power, all that good stuff. Pray to his family and everyone, have comfort and stuff in their hearts, because I know that's hard for anybody to lose anyone. Like close,
yes.
Real family.
Yep.
So that's all I want to say about that. But we read the Ken Swift series, right? But we kind of accidentally, somebody had gave us the wrong book, read it out of order.
Yeah, that was me. That was Bridget. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We pay attention. We just, picked the books. We read it, the second book of the series about Ken Swift.
We read it how he wrote it, though, because he wrote this one first, didn't he? And then he wrote that one. I thought that's how he did it.
What he did was he wrote, this was the second book. However, this book started from Ken's meeting Jimmy Lee until he was 40 and finally met his daughter. I mean, not met his daughter, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's been 22 years, but anyways. And then the first book starts off with him meeting his daughter,
right?
So it's like a background story. This book is a background story to the first one.
Yeah. So his second book in the series was the background story, the backstory. We read the backstory.
Yes.
We read the backstory. I went on and read the first one because don't stop it a minute. Like if somebody's saying something and then I'm supposed to just be but
right.
If you read the first one already, like that, okay, that was how this started.
Right.
But I had to keep going, and I read the first one too, and it was really good. It was really, really good. It wasn't a backstory. It was like it was the action part, what was happening then. But Lord, this backstory, child. I don't even know what to say.
So I've been reading since I was 12, and it's this lady, Renee A. Moses. She wrote this book, and when I say I hate this lady, this evil witch, judge, I just hate her. I'm not even gonna say her name. I know her name, but she's just evil witch. And I just thought, like, it's nobody on this earth that I would dislike more. And I read this book, and she done got topped.
She knocked Diana out the water, child. Can't nobody compare to Jimmy Lee.
I was like, God. Are you serious? Like,
every time.
I just think she's stupid. I think she evil. Like, just it's nothing that I like about her.
No, that is very true. Oh, I don't even want to talk about her, but this whole thing was about them. So
It sure was.
It's nothing we can't avoid it. So So before we were wicked, because the first one's called Bad Men and Wicked Women. So this one is before we were wicked, which is like obviously before all the other stuff happened. But I mean, they were still bad in this one too.
I'm trying to figure out how, because she was wicked the whole book.
So maybe they meant like the first sentence that was before, and then the rest of it was wicked. Because, all right. So here's the thing. So there's a guy. His name is Ken Swift. In this story, he was 21 years old. He was a college student. He was also a, what do they call them? Like when you beat up people who owe like people money.
They were the muscle for San Bernardino. The muscle. That's what I call them.
Okay. So he's 21. He's only 21. So he's doing this with this guy, Jake Ellis, who was a, how do you say the Ghana? Wait.
Ghanaian?
From Ghana, but I think it said Ghanaian. I think that's how you kept saying it. Ghanaian. But anyway.
From somewhere in Africa.
Don't do that. Oh, because wait, I felt her when they kept saying she was African.
So bad.
How many countries are in Africa? You can't do that.
I'm here to make her mad.
But I did get that part. But so he was from Ghana. They've been doing this for freaking 3 years. So he's been doing this stuff since he was 18, beating up people who owe San Bernardino money. And I wasn't like tripping about that because people do what they do to make money. He wasn't trying to do it forever. He was something.
He had a 4-year plan.
Right.
They had a 4-year plan, man. He's about to explore Africa, so he wouldn't be like me. He would actually know stuff. But yeah, man,
he knew a lot. He was well educated in like all things like with our Black lives and the value of it and stuff. Like if somebody didn't know, they learned a lot in this book. But we know about Black Wall Street. We know like all these different things, but a lot of people don't know that, and really got a good history lesson.
Sorry, I just learned that though. Actually, not in this book about the Black Wall Street. I don't know what I was reading. They was talking about that. But,
I ain't know it too long. It's been a few years. I ain't know about that. I know they also mentioned about how Haiti had we're still paying. I think is it France? I remember I learned about that too, about like they abolished slavery but kind of made the country pay them in order so they can get their money back for like not having the slaves doing all this work, and they're still paying them. That's why they're like a poor country. And that's still going on now. I can't remember what bank is linked to it right now, but I remember learning about that too. But it was very much a Black history lesson throughout.
Yes, it was. Whites, the Mexicans, the Americans, Black Americans, the Haitians, everybody. Yes, it was a history lesson.
It was true how, I mean, because like a lot of that was saying like, he met this woman when she was a kid. She lied. She was 18,
21 in a club.
She was 18 in the club, but she had a fake ID. And I guess in the beginning it was okay when you like go in, you meet somebody, y'all kick it, whatever, and then go about your business. But it wasn't no go about your business situation. I mean,
no, not at all.
This boy fell hard. He fell so hard that it was like, bro, open your freaking eyes, dog. Like this is not like I wish he could see what we see while we're watching him. Over this girl. All she wanted was sex, basically.
That's it. That's all
but
she
it was
wanted.
like he was just so, and it's like every time they would so they met because him and his friend was going to the club to beat up the club owner because they owed his boss money. And I was wondering when that part was coming. But they took care of business before he was about to leave. But yeah, so she's 18, they have a birthday on the same day. They learned a lot. They were talking a lot. I thought it was kind of cool. I'm thinking, they started to look at this not a relationship or a friendship. Like, okay, meet somebody. It's not just a physical attraction. Y'all, kind of hitting off a little bit until they weren't. Until every time
trifling from that day one. They talk. Because how you with somebody else, but you staring at him? Like, that's messed up. Like, she tried.
Staring at him is one thing. That's one thing. And she said because her dude was like looking at other people too as they walked.
Right.
Like I ain't even had no issue with that, to be honest. Because like you 18 years old, No, I'm saying if he's doing it, and then so she did it. That's what I'm saying.
Like he probably was doing it because she was doing it.
You think so?
I think she's trifling. Yeah, because he didn't go out and talking to him, and what she did, she was wrong.
Oh yeah, so the guy she was with, I don't know why he thought he could just walk up to her like that, but he did. Ken Swift saw her, he walked up to her, he took her hand basically after they talked a little bit while she was with the other guy and said, "This is my girlfriend." And I'm like, "Fool, and how you walk off and lead him like that?"
Because she trifling.
Like how does the man, like, apparently she didn't like him anyway, but he was Ethiopian, and I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know it was that deep, that they didn't want, their people, which we were all the same to me.
Oh, mixed race?
They didn't. I don't feel like this a mix. I mean, I guess. I don't feel like it is, but it is. It's just different cultures, like with anybody. It could be two Black African-American people with different, backgrounds because of how they raised. But I guess if you're from Africa and wasn't stolen from Africa, you're better.
That hurt my feelings. So that means I can't get an African because his family not going to approve of me.
As long as he approves of you,
I'm just playing.
There's some stereotypical things about him. I heard about being controlling and stuff, and I've had conversations with women who've been married, who dated them who were American women, because we're not, I guess, as submissive. We talk too much. Which is what Jimmy Lee was saying too. They just like, you got to be seen and not heard type situation.
But that means they don't got to work then, right? They get to just relax at home.
Some of them, yeah, but she didn't want that either. Like, she wanted to be, like she said, her own independent person. I mean, and
she wanted both worlds. She knew what she wanted.
I mean, I feel like they put her family, her dad, and her mama too, but they put a lot of, like, you need to be perfect type of pressure on her. And that does not excuse anything that she did. But like, to try to live up to your parents' expectations in that sense, and you're so scared that they're going to see this Black guy that you're dating, that he can't drop you off in front of your house. She's like nervous about all that kind of stuff.
She wasn't that scared to have unprotected sex with him.
That's so dumb to me.
I
can't believe she did that.
I'm like, if you ain't on, I'm thinking maybe she was on birth control, like, because even so you shouldn't. But I'm like, maybe she has some type of, something that was like, she had nothing, and I'm like, well, what else you thought was gonna happen?
All her future plans riding up on this one time, gone.
I don't have time. I don't even want to talk about it.
It makes me so mad when I think about her, because she got so much blame for everybody else, and it's all started with her one decision. All of it.
So look, so they were, doing their thing, whatever, going behind her parents' back. She kept trying to get to him anytime she can, because she just loved the way he put it down so much she couldn't do nothing else. Couldn't think of nothing else. Because there was
I get that part.
She did a lot of stuff with,
I don't get that part. Please. I don't get that part. You risking everything just for that?
I don't know why they do it. Like,
I'm not having unprotected sex with you.
Yeah.
But for so how it was, she dating this dude and he's the same whatever, they from the same whatever, and he don't lick on her. It's all about his needs, and she meet this American and he all about making her have orgasms. Like, that was her first.
But like, she was trying to learn stuff too. You remember, because she was supposed to be going to Harvard, so she had the whole plan of like, you teach me how to do this and teach me how to do that. So when I'm over there, I'll be good at all this kind of stuff. But
that was shady too when she was saying all that. That was shady.
Still need to protect yourself.
I
don't know nothing.
She did, but I get how she wanted to enjoy herself, because she wasn't. She
was gonna do it until she was gone. Every day she could. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. But put some daggone protection on.
Right?
Okay? Yeah. Especially if you're doing it that much.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, as in all, how things work, unprotected sex, baby on the way. And that's what happened with them. And she just immediately, her life was over. And I can understand, like, a young person, that's exactly what you think, because you're going to be responsible for another person before you even are responsible for yourself. I can understand her initially thinking that, but she played off of that too much. I feel like after it's done, all right, it's done. Replan, factor in the baby into this new plan now. Don't just throw everything out of the window and then do nothing. I was just so irritated, but like their conversations were so thrown off. Like her mentality was just like, it was like superior to everybody else, and it just, I ain't like that. Like everything what she said was right, everything he said was ignorant. It was just so. She just thought she was just too much better than everybody. I'm like, Negro, you just as much as we, don't do that.
Right.
That just meant I just don't like her. But anyway, so when did she told her parents, right? And then it was like she had a fear. I think the daddy like beat her when she does.
Yeah, growing up. That's what they did.
Yeah, she was very fearful of him in that sense too. But when they found out that she was pregnant, her family kicked her out. And now she's this 18-year-old with a 21-year-old. Now they got married. I mean, I guess he felt like that was the right thing to do.
Why did they get married?
You can.
I mean, like, they hadn't even discussed that. I mean, like, you leave the abortion clinic and next thing you know, you get married?
I don't know how you get married from that.
Because she was all about the sex, but he was really feeling her.
But the marriage, like still, like you said, she had to already make the decision. She already had got the money from her account that she was going to abort the baby. They did have the whole scene where they were in there and all this different stuff happening, and she just like she couldn't do it. And I'm like, and he was there the entire time. He didn't want to do it, but he was like, if you're gonna do it, fine. I'm here. Right. But she didn't go through with it. For it. But I'm like, fine. She really expected him not to care and not to be there for her and not to be just a good person. He was a good person, and I would have like it was a gnat. I'm sorry. I didn't get it.
I thought you were saying, "Oh, I just would have hit it. I just would have."
No, I would have. Oh, but yeah, so. She didn't abort the baby, and I guess after her parents get her, I guess getting married was supposed to like make it look better.
I think he loved her and he just wanted to take care of her, and he wanted to show her that she didn't need her family, like he was there for her.
That part.
But he didn't deserve none of that.
Why did she do it if she didn't want to?
So look,
she didn't want to keep the baby. She should have not kept the baby. And just
but looking ahead, I'm gonna come back to where we're at. But looking ahead, how she ended up going back home. Why didn't she keep the baby, then go back home, then instead of doing this whole thing, staying with
5 years of his life?
Yes,
miserable years.
They would have took her back just like they took her back then.
They would have. Like it ain't like they. I mean, they would have. You force them. Well, I guess I'm gonna sit here on y'all front door until y'all let me come back in with my baby. Like if you wanted it that bad.
But she didn't want to go back either though, because she was gonna have to be with that man that she didn't want to be with. So she didn't want either life. Like, but
so she just made Ken's miserable.
That's what,
yeah.
They argued so much, and it was so like, and it's a stupid thing. Like like when you're a woman, like a lot of times you can kind of understand where a woman is coming from. And we be like, oh yeah, I can get that. But throughout this book, every conversation they had, she always said something, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, you're stupid. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you stupid. Do you not see this girl don't want to be there? She don't want you. Like, you don't have to stay with. It was so dumb. And he just wanted the life. He just wanted to be able to take care of the family and take care of everything. And I just hated how they did not just factor in the baby and make the the necessary changes in order to be able to still get what they wanted. Now, he told her, if you still want to go to Harvard, I will go to the East Coast.
Right. He was
be with you. Like, we can do this. He wanted it so bad. She didn't. But why would you make yourself miserable? Stay there and just kind of ruin everything for everybody. That's how I see it. Because, like, if you would have just, heck, I bet if she would have just left the baby with him, he would have taken care of the baby, and she would have been gone.
He told her to do that. He said, just leave.
She didn't want to leave the baby, and I don't even know why. I'm sorry, but she was not a good mom.
She wasn't at all.
She
drinking, getting drunk, leaving every time he get there. She throw him the baby. He doesn't like me. I wouldn't like you either.
Babies know and feed off the energy.
Parents.
They can feel your energy.
Yeah.
So if you're acting a certain way towards her, then yeah, the baby's not gonna want to be around you. They can feel that. You make them antsy when you have that on you. You don't want her. You don't want the life. You made it obvious.
I understand that sometimes mothers for the first 6 months they might be a little depressed or whatever.
No, yeah.
But the baby was 5.
But that went on for years.
No, that's true. It wasn't just the baby that was making it was the whole life period. She was depressed, and I feel like she should have expressed it, but she expected, I guess, him to read her mind. I don't know. She should have been able. She told everything to the best friend, I guess.
Lila.
So I don't know.
Too.
If she told her,
she definitely a slut. But look, she deserved it.
She worked hard.
It's so bad. I don't care, but that's how I feel. She a slut, but I wish the friend would have found out right then. But okay. No.
Found out what?
That her best friend ain't really her best friend.
Oh, you wish that Jimmy had found out.
But I just hate Jimmy that much.
I don't know.
I mean, the best friend trifling though. Not saying
that was messed up what she did. I want to feel. I wanted like.
I knew it was something when she came over there. I knew it was like, why would you come over here? What are you doing?
Child. What's the Johannes? I couldn't think of his name and I was trying to write his name down. All right, so we got these 2 people together. They got this baby. They're supposed to be trying to make things work. Ken Swift is the enforcer, I guess, for the but I don't know what you call her. The loan shark. I don't know what you call him. But so he's gone all the time. You know, like for work, he gets paid a lot, but he has to like go to, you know, different parts of the country basically to do his job, and that leaves her with the baby a lot. And obviously, if you're depressed and baby screaming all the time, you know, you can go a little cuckoo. But I want to say nobody wanted to meet. Nobody had a good relationship with their parents. First of all,
no.
Ken didn't have a good relationship with his mom and dad. He didn't like his dad. And he was doing the same thing, which is crazy, right? His dad and his granddad did the same thing that he's doing for a living.
Oh yeah.
Like and I was like, how do you get into that? How does that become a family? Whatever. But so they ended up meeting each other's parents after the marriage, after the baby was born. She kept saying something about him. She was so depressing. How like he bought her basically for $25 for the marriage certificate. I'm like, why does the cost of the marriage certificate have anything to do with the value of the marriage? That's just a piece of paper.
And you sold yourself. You sold yourself. He didn't buy you.
Right. Because you can say no. Like you can. That's what I'm saying. Like you're agreeing to all these things as if you don't have a choice, and then you blame everybody else for it. But
I mean, it was either stay home with your parents and denounce him, you know, and be with somebody you don't want to be with, but she don't want to be with him either. Or you be with him. It was, and you're 18, or you could be with neither and struggle. I don't know. Like
it was I mean, emotionally and mentally, it was a struggle anyway. I mean, of course, he's gonna take care of you and the baby. I guess maybe that was the main concern. I guess having someone take care of them, because either it was gonna be your dad and them, and then whatever that comes with that, or it was gonna be the dad of the baby, or your husband, as I should say,
But she definitely didn't think that he was gonna stick around. I mean, she thought that he didn't want the baby just as much as she didn't want it, Yeah. So, but I mean, I figure you would think that, hey, he showed you who he was. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why she kept thinking that.
He did, and he he kept showing that he loved her, and he would say it, and she wouldn't. But I would just wish she was more honest in like a direct way, as far as like telling him like, I don't love you. I don't want to be here. I'm only here for this reason or that, because
we all seen it, so he should have saw it. So I don't know.
But see, okay, I think he just saw what he wanted to see because he's a guy, right? Yep. He saw what he wanted to see. He saw what he wanted it to be, but it wasn't that. But he just took it, he just took it, and I hated that was so ugly. But so like they ain't got no support, obviously, like from the families is what I'm saying. Her family looks down on African Americans, and his family just seemed like they just ignorant.
What was up with his family? Why he didn't like him?
I don't know. I know it was like he said something about his dad always. He said somebody like him, like cheating on the mama all the time and not really respecting her. But I don't know. He didn't
like the mama either.
Yeah, like I don't really know what really was the deep issue of like why he didn't want to come around. Because it was something with the whole family. Because he didn't see none of them, and he had siblings, didn't he? He didn't see none. I don't remember if he said. I thought he said he did. Because they would like ask questions about each other, trying to get to know each other a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But they were
none of that came out in the second book either.
Girl, no, he ain't talking about his family. He just said they still lived up the street.
Man, they were a few minutes away. That's sad. But
they still lived up the street, and he didn't even see them. He didn't the entire time that he hasn't seen his family since the baby had gone. So since she was like 5 or 6, the last time he saw her,
22 years. Dang.
Or whenever the family met the baby, which is what we're finna talk about right now. So she was a baby.
Yeah, she was a baby.
Yeah, like in an infant. Yeah, she had to get changed in type of situation. So that's the last time he saw his family, which is retarded. Like I said, they 5 minutes away. How do you not see them?
Hey, this world big enough.
Whatever is happening, whatever it is between them is deep, because they ain't come to see him either. They plan to meet the family. I think this was after Florida, right? When they went to Florida, it was supposed to be a vacation. He told her it was a vacation, and it was. They were kind of, having a good time and a little family time and stuff, but he had to go to work. Okay. And got caught up with.
I don't know why he told her. I wouldn't tell her nothing.
I don't know why he told her either. Why?
Oh my gosh. I said the same thing. I was like, why is he telling her everything? I wouldn't even tell her what I did for a living. Like I would never I would lie. He don't lie. Like he literally does not lie about anything. I'm like,
not to her anyway.
Yeah, like it's just he's too trusting of her. And
my wife.
Yeah, because I think he just wanted that. And he was just so caught up with how she looked and all the other stuff. It wasn't, I don't even think it was emotional or so. Like it was, you were in love with the wrong parts.
Yeah.
Try to make it something that you thought like that does not sustain any type of relationship just because somebody look or sex or whatever. Like that's not gonna do anything.
They disagree with everything. Like every time like he would talk about unity, she wasn't about that. Like
no. But they went to Miami and they had this guy that they had to collect. I don't know if they collect the money. I don't think they collect them. I think
they don't always collect it.
But yeah, they beat him up to let him know you owe the money, and then like a phone call or something with the person, and then they're supposed to like make arrangements to pay or whatever. But they went to the guy's house, which is always funny how they go to somebody's house and they be talking about they nice. It's like, dude, how do you live like this? And the guy, they beat him up so bad, and he was talking about he had to poop on himself or something because they were supposed to take him to go see San Bernardino about the problem. And I felt like I was like, nah, bro, like don't let him do it. I was like, don't. Why would you let him go to the bathroom like
by himself?
He was gonna try to get out the window. I didn't know he was gonna get a gun.
I felt like he was gonna be doing something. I was like, I don't know if it's a silent alarm. Like I thought he was trying to go in there to do something. I didn't think he was gonna try to run because he's probably too messed up to run, and they gonna catch him.
Right.
But I didn't know
was this hidden thing where you press a button and you go through, and he was gonna be gone. Like,
it could have been a panic room. Yeah, you right. That could have happened. Oh, that'd be crazy.
That was my thoughts. I was like, he better be gone, and they ain't gonna get paid for this one. But
I was like, I didn't think they were gonna do it. Obviously, so they seem like they'll beat the crap out of you and keep on going about life. So I didn't think they was gonna care if he had to use the restroom.
Right.
But I can't remember Wachovia. It was something Wachovia.
I mean, I get it though, because if you gotta poop and I gotta take you somewhere, you gonna poop in my car? Like, nah.
But it wasn't his car. That was a van. They had a van.
Yeah, it wasn't his. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, if you're gonna tie him up and he's gonna have crap on himself, don't put him on his back. Put him on his belly so it won't smush up on nothing. I wouldn't have done that. But they went on and let him go. Jake Ellis, he walked into the bathroom. He stood there. The door supposed to be open. I'm like, now his door gotta be open while you pooping. You gotta watch him. That's nasty. But he came out. He had a gun hidden inside the toilet thing because they checked it all before. That's their job. They check to make sure that there's no weapons and nothing that they can get to. And they missed that. And Jake Ellis got shot. He was fighting with the guy, and you think they're beat up so bad that they can't fight back, but that's not what happened. So the dude was fighting for his life, and he was giving them a fight for his life.
They said he was on PCP or something because he should have been down. All them beatings he got.
He should.
He got stabbed and stuff, and was still
right.
That man was scared for his life. He said, "I'd rather die."
I was nervous about that because I was like, okay, dude got shot. I was like, oh, his blood might be somewhere. If that's all I'm thinking. And then he's beating him up. I say, okay, if they I didn't want it to get bloody but I didn't know about them having cleaners and stuff. So I guess that was okay.
I didn't know about that either.
Yeah, like at the time. So I'm like, oh my gosh, if they make it bloody or so, like they can get caught if something happens, like because DNA and stuff. But they I mean, gosh, he stabbed him. He kept stabbing him. Wild dude was holding him. He was still alive. And so he had to break his neck.
Yeah, that was the last straw.
I was like, dang, are they gonna get in trouble? Because I said Bernardino gonna get that money. Like I'm thinking all this kind of stuff. Because if you kill a person before they pay up, they can't pay up.
That's what I thought too.
And are you responsible for that? Like, are you in trouble for that? But apparently not.
No, they still got paid.
They still got paid. They still, San Bernardino had, connections and able to get, the place cleaned up, spotless, so it won't be no DNA left behind, hopefully. And then they got rid of the body, fed it to the
alligator.
Man, I heard about that. Wasn't they in Florida? No, they was in Miami.
Yeah,
they was in Florida. That's the same
Miami,
thing.
Florida.
It is in Florida. But I heard they had the big crocodiles in Florida, man. I seen it on the news. They was real big.
You said a picture of that one?
Yeah, so that's what I pictured with. I was like, yep, that's the alligator that ate
that
it.
Was a freaking dinosaur.
Yeah, that's what I was like, yep, they good. There ain't gonna be nothing left for that.
Nothing left. No drop piece, nothing, girl. When they said that, I was like, okay, anybody gonna find him? Because I was wondering like what they was gonna do, but feed him to alligators. That's it. But yeah, so he goes back to the hotel and he's thinking he can like shoot to the shower and nothing.
I would have took me a shower before I went to that hotel.
Right.
He would have thought that I was with a woman because I would have been like,
I probably would have thought about that.
You think what you think.
But he don't see that's the thing, he don't want to be seen as something that he's not.
I don't care
so much that he'll tell her the truth. I was so mad when he came in and he all beat up and she woke up she was I don't know, she was waiting for him.
He was already up.
Yeah,
she was waiting on him.
Mm-hmm. Then he told her the name of the person.
Yeah.
Why would you tell her the name?
Yeah. Sure wouldn't have done that. But I feel like she is a horrible person, and I'm not gonna have it. You're not gonna have it on me, so I'm not telling you nothing. But he felt like that was his wife, and he thought he could trust her.
I don't care. Even at that moment in our relationship, after all, even because at this time she wasn't doing all other stuff yet. At least we weren't aware of it. But I'm like, at this point, even in a relationship, I wouldn't have said nothing. I was like, man, I got jumped. That's it. Like, so how can you tell me I didn't? What? Look, I'm beat up. But he had his blood on him. Well, it's not my blood. It belongs to this person. Like, that's when somebody call you the N-word.
Yeah.
Why would you tell her that? You know, you can be like somebody, man, somebody got shot or something.
Anything.
Yep. A story in a second.
Man, it's Jake blood because he got shot for real. This is Jake blood.
Anything.
Jake Ellis.
Anything. Because remember at the first, when they first met, and he had to beat up the guy, and it was like a drip of blood, and she asked him about it, and he talking about it was
ketchup. Yeah.
But I guess he can't say it this time. But he could have, anything could have worked. Like anything else but the truth.
Yeah, he ain't have to tell her.
I did not trust her with that. And I don't even understand how he could have trusted her with that. I guess if he told her the truth, that she'll maybe think that I don't know. I can't even explain it. He shouldn't have told her. But that made her look at him as if he's a killer at all times.
But she finally decided to go home since she was like, well, you just like my dad.
Yeah, she kept saying it, and it was like now she's supposed to have like this like actual fear of him. I think she called her mama.
Yep, she called her mom.
And she didn't tell her what happened, but she just, she
just like that.
Something. She told Delilah, whatever.
Delilah.
Whatever her name.
Yeah.
Is. She told her, but again, like I don't think she gave anybody else the details, but basically saying like he's a bad person. He does bad things. He hurts people type situation. And then I think that, she was already a horrible person to me, but I think that changed things a lot more for how she was acting with him and how she was doing stuff.
But she was still there. She act like after she saw the money that she was like, oh my gosh, we got all this money. Let's just spread it all over the place and just.
Yep.
I was so sick of her.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sick of her. It's either you gonna leave or you gonna stay.
Yeah, like what you gonna do? And can you do it now?
Like I don't know. Like it's just so much about her. It's like I just didn't understand. Like why? Like it's okay.
And then when they went to meet her parents at that little stupid restaurant, couldn't even he's not good enough to go to their house. They had to meet at this dumb restaurant.
And then he had to pay for all 50 of them.
All them people.
Nope.
First of all, daddy was so disrespectful and just
like talk to him,
rude.
But would talk about him.
But so was she. She was. You know what she was? She is just like her father. She is so disrespectful, so demeaning.
Very much.
Treating him like he's just a little kid.
Yeah.
Go change her diaper. No. You go change it.
And he was like in the conflict of like, she tested me. She trying to make me look like, I'm like, I would have done it.
No.
I would have done it. And then he still tried to talk to her dad, tried to be respectful and just bite the tongue and just, God, I don't even understand. I don't understand why people act like that. I don't understand how you can talk to me like that. I don't understand how you can let somebody talk to your husband like that, but obviously you don't love him or like him or anything. Why am I here? Like, why am I here with y'all?
Why did she even choose him? If you've been raised like that, you know how your dad, everybody is.
And you care.
Why would you even choose him?
About that.
To even just, if it was a one night stand or whatever, and you kept going back and back and back and back.
Right. Obviously, she didn't think she was going to be pregnant. For what reason? I don't know how she didn't think that, being retarded. But even then, like, if it was just that bad, and it's just such a, what do you call it when you're embarrassing your family? Well, it's a different
shame.
And she kept feeling like it was dishonoring them too, to be with him. Why did you marry him?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, why? It's always these things where we're like, you act like you didn't have a choice, like you was forced. But then on the other hand, you're like, it's still everybody else's fault. And I'm going to look down on you, even though I married you. I was like, where does this make sense?
No way.
She just messed up his, I don't like her. so they have this disrespectful freaking lunch or whatever, and then I know at one point.
Oh, but the best friend though, she came through. Like I'll change her.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did what they did, and he said what he said. He should have met her, and that's how it should have been. Because I don't like.
She was trying to save him from the embarrassment, and she had to tell him. He was asking like, what were they saying at the table, because they were speaking in their own language, their language, because they was like talking stuff, and he was asking questions, and the girl was answering him like, who is Johannes? Who is this? Who is that? What were they saying?
And with now that he knew who Johannes was, it's like Jimmy Lee did so many things. She cheated so many times, left the house, and Ken explanation is his. She's young. You're young too.
You're young too, girl.
Oh, y'all young, but
21. Girl, please, 21.
I always had an explanation for her actions.
It ain't no explanation. Why. She does what she does because she wants to do it. It ain't got nothing to do with her. That's what she wants to do. She old enough to be thinking she higher than everybody else, so you're more mature and independent for your age. You know what you're doing then, so you can't blame nobody else for that. But I mean,
but he always let it slide though. Why?
He did
because he wanted her.
He wanted her for some reason,
and he didn't even ask. Even though he saw, numbers. Where you went, or who was that, or nothing.
Like he didn't want to start a fight. Like, but you already know what's going on. Gosh. So, I mean, when he wasn't there, she had people at her house when he wasn't there doing stuff, or she'll just go. She was really just doing everything she wanted to.
A whore. She was a whore. That's what she was.
She was jealous of everybody else who didn't have no kids, screaming and crying. Like, you could, bruh, if you would have a better relationship with your family, drop that baby off and go have a good time. Even if you didn't, that's your mama. She'll watch. It's like you just made it hard for no reason to me. You just you made life hard for no reason, even if it was for 5 years. Like, he endured your looking down at him, like demeaning, like he endured your cheating, all of it. He took it. He still loved you.
And gave.
That's all he did was give. He didn't receive nothing in return from this girl. And then this fool finally gonna say, they had a conversation about them, separating, getting divorced. Well, I already got the Nova apartment I want. I need this amount of money every month. I want her in this type of school, so she needs this type of money she had it all planned out.
Yeah.
All planned out. And I'm just like, you have no heart at all. Like, at all. This man is doing everything his best, and he still could have went to school. I don't know why he didn't go to school. I went to school.
Well, he ain't had no doggone money. He had to pay for everything.
He had to give it all to her.
While they were married in the beginning, like he didn't have to. I don't think he had to drop out.
He ain't had no money, honey. He was supposed to be there working with that man. Yes.
Look at here. You better go on over to this daggone Walmart until I can.
Please. She act like no. He had to pay for her and the baby, so he couldn't go nowhere. He could have went though.
When they divorced, she had the paper. She had everything ready for him, and when they did that, it was like the money. At that point, he really couldn't do nothing.
Because she stole his money, his stash that he had. Remember that?
She did.
Yeah, she trifling.
And
he ain't do nothing about it. He ain't say nothing about it. He never, he ain't confront her about nothing. He ain't hold her accountable for nothing.
Oh.
And he steady loved her. And I'm like, what? I'm still like,
even after she got married again. Okay, I can see this is your child. You paying child support, whatever. Okay, but then you still paying alimony.
You ain't supposed to pay alimony after that woman married.
No.
Are you crazy?
That's ridiculous.
I would have told her that I would only be giving her child support, and that's it. I don't care. But
I'm about to see my daughter.
That's what it was. I forgot the freaking threats about telling the cops about this man.
Yes,
that's what she was holding over him. And that's why a lot of stuff he was a punk about.
But dude, what was he? What was the Johannes, whatever his name?
He was Ethiopian.
What was his profession?
science. It was a rocket scientist or something. Like
That's money.
he was making money.
So
Yeah.
why she need dude money then?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know because she
didn't. She just evil.
And like you literally like
let me make sure you can't go to school.
I can get child support because if you're not with the kid, but then child support. Talk about child support. She would not let this man, after she left, she would not let him see that baby. She first agreed that, okay, we could do it every Wednesday. Then it took, like he said, like 3 Wednesdays before she finally came. She came by herself. She seduced him. He fell for it like a dummy. And then they started having sex while she's married to somebody else now, your ex-wife. So now it was like every Wednesday she would come over and they'll be doing that. And he never got to see his daughter. She wouldn't let him see pictures or keep pictures. She wouldn't let him send gifts. She's like, oh, my family wouldn't this. Nick, that's your child. Bring it home and say I bought it. Like, if it matters that much. It doesn't matter. Give it to her. And
why you didn't have a picture?
Not the picture. She won't let him talk to the baby on the phone. Like, nothing.
Mm-mm.
How?
That's the way her parents wanted it. It's just like
parents.
That's the way the husband wanted it. He was just like, this ain't his child no more, basically. Like
basically.
And she agreed to that before she left. Like that was her, how she could get in, how she could get married and be away from him, I guess. But that's messed. That's so messed up.
Back to him for sex, and at some point, it was like he felt like he was doing it just because he thought that he'll be able to see the daughter if he went along with it, and he wanted to do it anyway. But it was like he never got to see her after all of that. Never got to talk to her, even still. But yet you're still entertaining this, so you can't even say you're still entertaining it too.
Yeah, that's because he wanted to.
I'm just
so sad.
And then she gets caught in his bed.
She was that loud, dude, downstairs.
They can hear everything. Like the music and stuff. They can hear everything. So I thought he came to the door though, and he said, "I heard you. I heard you."
That's my wife. Really.
I felt good at that part just for Ken because I was like, "Yeah, you think you better than me," but she coming back. But I hated her. But yeah, so husband found her. She left, and he ain't never see her after that. But the husband came back
with the whole family.
40 deep with the daddy too. And I'm like, I know they not gonna jump this guy.
I thought they was about to kill him.
One-on-one fight. Hey, if that's what y'all want to do, but you got the whole freaking plan.
Yep, everybody from
beating him up at one time, punching, and he fight. You know he fighting, but you get over at first. It's a lot of people, so they beating him up, kicking him up, and all this kind of stuff in the rain. And I'm like, when he said they were coming, all these men coming out of the cars with umbrellas and stuff. I'm like, what the heck is gonna happen? I didn't think they were gonna be beating him up. Like I didn't think they were gonna. I thought it was gonna be like a conversation, like threatening your life type situation, but they did that and they were done with it. And, telling him to stay away from her and you need to sign over the baby so we can take her to Africa and stuff. And then that girl mama walked up with her own threats. I was like, oh, she on it too. I was like,
they say that the queen is the head. Didn't they say that?
I thought it was just a daddy. I was like, bro, she's really running all of that for real.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they all evil.
Girl, the whole family. That whole family.
Wicked, yes.
That whole family. And that was it. Like he didn't get to see his daughter no more. He didn't see Jimmy Lee no more. There was a neighbor across the street. She was like, "Hey, I saw all of that. You want me to call the cops?" I was like, "Hell, if you was gonna call them, you would have called them while I was getting beat up."
Yeah.
How you wait? You gonna wait till I die?
All that beat down was all because she kept coming. Mm-hmm. She kept coming. Mm-hmm. He had nothing to do with that.
He kept getting punished for her actions. I think
yes,
throughout the whole marriage, like he was being punished for all of that, and
just getting madder and madder every page I turn.
Because it just never got better. It never got better.
I was so mad. Like I was like, I gotta stop. Like, let me go do something.
Because I'm reading this and I'm still like trying to understand when, like what they say, because it seemed like this is the worst part, right?
When the light gonna shine? When the sun gonna come out? When
Yeah, and it
tomorrow
never
gonna
came.
come?
Over. I was like, why? This is so bad. And I'm like, when is he gonna catch a break? Like, bruh, what is happening? And
Never.
he didn't. He just didn't. Not with this woman, not with this situation. And then in the book, like a whole freaking 20 years passed.
22.
He ain't never seen his child. He'd been buying her gifts, her birthday gifts, Christmas gifts throughout the years. He couldn't get in contact with them. I mean, it was just what can you do? So then it's like, okay, now I'm just turned into this deadbeat dad as if I never tried, because they basically kidnapped my child and took her away. And he can't find them. And it's like that messes a person up, because he to me, I feel like he did make mistakes, but he really did the best that he could. He tried to be like, he tried.
All he could do, she let him do was do the money part.
That's all it was. Money and sex. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
And I was so just like disgusted at him, because I'm like, why do you keep letting her suck you into that? It's many women on the planet, okay? Like, why? I don't know what kind of voodoo stuff she had upon her, but he was in it and he fell for it. He just couldn't break away from it. Even like now, like I don't know what kind of thing that woman got on him. But
he had too much, since he did sleep with her best friend.
Well, she threw herself at him though. She came there for that purpose.
But wasn't that the day he got beat up?
Yes, that's what I want. No, I thought it was the same day. It was must have been a couple of days after.
A couple of days later.
Oh,
okay. Like,
but he was still toe up. How he do all that and he was toe up and beat up?
I was thinking. I was like, this don't hurt. Like, you do it. This.
Well, he has a like I told you, I read the other one. He has a way. I guess he does that. Is something that about doing that part kind of numbs the pain of the physical pain. He done said. He said,
because he did somebody else.
Right? This time he was toe up, and I'm like, how can you even move? But he moves, so I don't know.
Okay. And they was smoking. They was smoking and drinking
a lot. Oh my God, she came there for that. I don't care. What
she did. She did.
She came up for that very reason.
She got it too. And then she said, I got it though. Who better? I was like, oh, she trifling.
Oh, I was like, oh, you skank. Oh, she was making me mad. He had to lie. He had to lie and say she was.
He don't say that.
Oh.
He can be stupid sometimes, but he ain't gonna be stupid all the time. I feel like he know better. But yeah, he definitely that was like, it was messed up, but I was kind of happy that it happened, because I feel like Jimmy Lee deserved it. But if she never found out, then what's the point? But I guess he at least had that.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Like, she tried.
That was his way.
Yeah,
getting back.
In a way, I guess, and kept saying. I knew he didn't really meant that when he kept saying he wished he had met her, or been with her instead, because it seemed like she kind of was the one with the head on her shoulder. Like, she wanted.
Yeah, she wanted him, and she's been grateful for the person he is.
She was saying
and
how
her parents ain't crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you say a lot of stuff when you having sex or want to get it. I don't believe nothing that she said. He probably was. From what we read, we knew that he was a good person. Mm-hmm. We knew that he was a good catch. We already knew that. We need her little trifling little red Corvette tail coming in here telling us nothing that we already knew.
I don't care. She was better than Jimmy Lee. Anything.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yes,
we only really knew her for this one day.
But she got a bit of heart.
She got a heart. Sent him all the photos that she had.
See,
that was the only good thing that she did. Yes, those photos.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't
Can't tell.
They had a relationship, because she was thinking about all that kind of stuff too. Like, that's kind of messed up for us to have a relationship. Well, fool, you already in his bed.
Right? I thought she was gonna come back.
I did too.
Too, man. I thought they was gonna be together.
I did too.
So
I was like, is that how this going? Is that how this going? He ended up with a girl. I was like, oh shoot, that's gonna be a craziness. He really ain't gonna.
And I wish Jimmy Lee would say something about it. You better not, because obviously you don't want him. Like, you divorced him, don't want to see his kid. She deserved it, but she didn't get that. But whatever.
That was a mess. That was a mess. I can't believe it happened. But I mean, yeah, I think that was pretty much. It's just like, I mean, because more like just, we don't even talk about the conversations. It was just a very bad relationship, very bad marriage. It ended, still kept the baby from him. You know, they were addicted to sex with each other. That's all I felt. But yeah, so he has.
But I mean, she wasn't that addicted to it because she was having sex with other people. I'm like, if the sex is that good, why are you with somebody else?
Right?
Like, I don't get it.
Sex,
and he would give it to you every time you want it, anytime how you feel.
But she blamed him as if it was his fault for ruining her life. So at this point, she didn't want it with him no more. After she came up to that conclusion, she was gonna get it from somewhere else though.
But she still came back.
She probably had more sex with him when they wasn't married than they did when they were.
Oh.
When she was divorced, you know, she would come all that time, and he was rubbing that in with the husband when they were trying to beat him up.
Oh yeah, when
he wrote for that. He's like, I don't give a fuck about her.
He
but
is
when
petty.
Yeah.
He petty. Yeah. I like it though. I'm serious, because it just, if he can be childish and stuff and the things that he say, but I mean, with her, I don't care what he said. She was just horrible. But I like that. Like, it's almost like anything can be a joke to him at times. But so their dog. What's her real name? I know he called the baby Margot.
Sisker. I don't know.
Sagarita.
Started with a T. That's all I know.
Ashley, how the man said it, that you heard that, how he said it?
I think it was Sagarita. And that's the crazy part. I haven't seen it written down.
Oh,
I haven't seen it written down, so I don't know.
No.
But I don't know. I think it was like Sagarita.
I called her Margot and Tisker.
I called her.
I ain't even sound out the whole name. It was too much.
Yeah. See, I don't know what it looked like. Wait, so it started with a T?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
T-I-S or something like that.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiger.
The way they said it,
African
like,
name.
I think Sagarita or something.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
Anywho.
So she was gone by time, I think 6, because he said that she was already, when the last time we saw her, she was like, I think in school, you know, with the white
first grade. It's so sad.
Yeah, first grade.
That is sad.
And then as the book went, I mean, like, years have passed and he didn't hear from them, he couldn't reach them, and then 20 years have passed and he's like now like 43 years old, trying to, you know, he's still doing the same thing. He's still doing the same
I know, like, how you still doing that? You ain't old yet, but when you
he ain't got no
like that,
well,
like,
yeah, he finished paying for the girl now, but is he still giving alimony?
No. All that stopped when she was 18.
Look, who knows? Not just he stopped at 18 and said it.
So he didn't go back to school, so he's still living in this spot. And then he gets this, was it a phone call?
It was a phone call early in the morning or the middle of the night or something like that.
I feel like he stayed there because he was just hoping that one day he'll come back and know where he was. Yeah, let me be exactly where I've always been.
That's how.
And he had the same number. He had the same phone number. And
he said he could never afford to like have the life he wanted to have because of those 18 years. He was paying that woman all of that money. He didn't have anything to have for himself. Like, he couldn't get the house because he had a plan. He was, even after all this, he thought he was gonna live in this certain neighborhood and have a certain house and stuff, but he couldn't do any of that because all of his money went to her. But after those, the girl's only what, 20? So
Life
he literally
changes
just
you.
stopped paying for her like for a few years. So yeah,
Mhm.
he didn't have any money to do the things that he wanted to do or move, because of course things
To
would cost
Africa.
more. Move to Africa. He could have went to Africa.
He could have stayed with old boy.
But she's, he said, because how much she stole was like $20,000 or something.
A lot.
A big amount. And he thought that that's what he could have used to go. I can't believe that heifer stole that.
Ain't said a word.
And you're getting alimony and stuff.
And she had been taking money. The girl Lala said she had been taking money the whole time, putting money aside.
Yep, he found that out too. That Just have a moment of silence because I want to kill her.
Me too. She ain't died. She ain't died first.
No. And it was a point where I thought she was, and I, because of some stuff, but she lived.
Come on. That always happened.
The evil people gotta live. I guess Lord giving them a chance to be smarter and be better, but I don't know. It just whatever, man. But anyway, he like seriously just stopped paying child support. And his daughter reached out to him. His daughter is
grand, $50K. Give me $50K.
How you come to
at this time? Like he talked him crazy. Like
meet me tomorrow. No,
yeah.
tomorrow.
Exactly what I said. Like, dang.
She was extremely disrespectful. And first of all, I wasn't raised like that. So I know I have, apparently her mama said she wasn't either. She's supposed to know how to, have respect for, but whatever. I understand any animosity when you think and have been lied to. It actually happened because it was real in my life. They just didn't care. But for hers, he did care, and he did try. He wanted to be there. He wanted to. He did love her, and he, But the mama, this was on her. All of it's true.
Yeah,
it was on him because he was being stupid, but it was on her, for being evil. But it was all on the mama. But the mama just made, like a lot of them. Sometimes they do. They make the dads look horrible in the situation, especially if they're not there. They can give whatever narrative they want to give.
Right.
And that's what the kid is going to go off of their entire lives, which is what she did. So she had no respect for the man. She felt like just abandoned her and didn't care about her. She said, you divorced my mama and you left us. Like, hell, but your mama had the papers ready and signed and gave it to me to sign.
Right.
But she don't know that part. She,
He didn't even say that. He just like, why are you trying to meet me? When he didn't even like, I don't know, like he didn't like, it didn't seem like he was fighting like what she was saying at all.
He was like, he was happy. Like he was
like
unknown. My daughter, after all this time, she's calling me. Is this really her? What? Meet you when? Where?
Right.
Yeah. Like she was being disrespectful. He just was.
He was taking it. He was taking it. I feel like because I know as a person, he probably felt like he knows why. As far as like him not being around.
He thought he knew why.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I thought. But like he, you can kind of feel if you ain't seen and talked to this girl all this time, they gonna probably feel some type of way about that.
Yeah, but if he could do all that he did for Jimmy Lee, she's trash. Of course, he's gonna do all he can for his daughter. So,
because that's his daughter. Yeah.
That's
a whole nother kind of connection. That's a real one, especially.
Right.
Yeah. But his daughter was raised by the woman, but she wasn't evil like her.
That's because she had some of her daddy in her.
Exactly. That's what.
Yeah. Gotta be, because my mama can't teach her nothing but evil.
She really can't. But yeah, so it is off of him meeting his daughter after all these years and her demanding $50,000. Like he just got it sitting around because his mama said I guess his mama said her mama said I don't even know why she think he got that kind of money.
I mean,
Not
if you spending all
2,000.
that money that you was all my life, I think.
But no, but she didn't even know that he was sending it.
Oh, she didn't even know that. Oh.
No.
Well, I guess we don't know that. You know, because
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no, like she didn't know that he spent no money. She didn't know nothing. She thought he completely abandoned them.
Of course, Jimmy Lee didn't tell her.
No, she ain't talk about nothing. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk about the other book. You know, maybe somebody want to read it. But it probably already did if they got to this point.
Yeah.
I honestly would suggest reading it the way we did, to be honest with you. Because I don't like reading the backstory after something. I wouldn't even want to read this story that we read. Shoot. I hated this story.
Yeah.
I hated this relationship. And I was like, it was so heartbreaking. But it was so like you were really there in all of the mess. And you really was like,
I was in that apartment.
Starts making me hate her so much.
Yes.
It was like a real, it was a bad relationship, but it was a real like interpretation of the bad relationship.
Right.
Like, we just saw it and felt it. Like he wrote it really good to the point where we were there. But it was like, why? You just mad because like why do it have to be this hard? Why does it have to be this way?
Yeah. He's such a good guy. Why do he have to go through this for 20 some years? Why?
He did a good job making us hate her.
Yes, he did that.
Yes,
writing a bad character.
I hate her so bad. Like
I can't see faces. I can see their bodies, how they're built and all, and I can see the apartment. I can see everything else, but I don't know. I can't. I
feel like she's a really gorgeous stuck up.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, 100%.
That's I can see like really pretty, just.
But I can fix that.
Flawless skin. Like I can see her, and I just.
Same.
Anywho, yeah, this will be my first. I mean, I love the author and all, but this story just wasn't my story, and this is probably gonna be my first 3, just to be honest.
Yeah,
it's gonna be probably a 3 for me.
I don't know if I gave it I was trying to say the reason I was saying 4 or 4.5 was because of the emotions that I felt, because I felt like it was written in a way that made me so bad and so invested in these characters and I'm wanting these things to happen. They didn't happen. It didn't happen. But I was wanting it. But I be feeling like with a James Baldwin book, it's like you're reading something that is real in a sense of like this is how things are, but you wish it could be something better, and it turns out to not be that, and it just stays in the realness of the story. It's not a fantasy. I think it's not like a fantasy love story, or even it was just a a bad love story. That's all it was. It was a very detailed bad love story.
Are you saying it's 3 because of how it's written, or 3 because you didn't like the story of how it went?
For me, I didn't really care for all the background of the history. It was a lot of that. I really didn't care for it. Really didn't like that at all. And I didn't, it didn't matter. It just seemed like to me, it didn't really matter. It was so much of the history between, the background, not of them individually, but of their heritage. It was a lot for me.
Okay.
It was to me, it was too much, and it was too much. And I didn't like the story. I mean, I really didn't. I didn't like it. The only good part of it was the sex scenes, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That for that to only, because I didn't. To me, they never grew up. They were still at that 18 and 21, even after the years went on and on and on. Each time it said 2 years, 3 years had passed, they were still stuck in the same place. To me,
but that you don't feel like that's real? Like people don't live like that?
To me, I didn't. It's just not my type of book, I guess.
I've definitely probably experienced it. It's very real.
I feel like it was so real.
Yeah.
And I agree with you with the story. And the heritage stuff, I don't know. Like I was like, dang, this is interesting. Like for real, like this how this is. This how people be feeling for real. I don't know. Like I
didn't know. Like it's because it's like you don't pick up a book like this and expect to get like a history lesson.
Right. I wasn't expecting that.
But I still liked it.
I liked it.
Stuff I didn't know. I was like, oh, that's how I was taking it, because they were both. It was like my heritage, no mine, But he was being more realistic with. I liked his part because it was like that's ours, like that's what we experience here, and I mean, but it was repetitive. Like they kept doing that, and then you have the African side of things. And then it's like, this was the first time I've ever seen them kind of like go head to head as far as like the cultures and stuff. I never even looked at it like that. I have heard of like people from Africa looking down at the African Americans because we're not real Africans. We have all this other stuff mixed into our things. Like it was our fault that we got, sold into slavery by other Africans. And then, they paid them to steal us from our people and then, took us over. But I don't know. I didn't have a problem. I guess I didn't have a problem with it because I was listening to it and not reading it. And if I was reading it, I'd probably be like, come on, man, go. Yeah, I probably would do that. I don't know. But I actually enjoyed it because it was a lot I didn't know.
Yeah.
The whole Ethiopian thing. I remember all those commercials about the Ethiopian kids and how skinny and thick they looked. I was like, I remember that. With the flies flying around and stuff, and they got dirty water and a white woman trying to give them some water in the bottle and stuff. Yeah. I remember that.
Me too.
Which is crazy, but I mean, I guess that didn't bother me. And like Talisha said, it was just the realness of the actual bad relationship. We don't read stories like that. It'd be like somebody coming out of a bad relationship and then they find love, and it's like, ooh, it's so nice, because that's what I write, because I like to. That's what I want to read.
That's what I like, and that's what I want. And I didn't even get you. I chose this book. I was the one who chose this book.
I feel like I agree with you though. Like it was no happy ending. Like it was so bad. Like I was just like, can he get like a little break, like a little bit? Like so. I feel like a little bit of the first book should have been at the end of this book. Like, come on, man. But I wouldn't rate it a 3 though. Like I think it was a little better than that. Like I don't know.
Like the second book was like not based on the relationship part like this was. I mean, it had relationship stuff, but it was more, like I said, that was more of like his work situation, and then the stuff with the daughter. I think this one was just so different because it was just this was a different type of book. Period, because I've never read a book where it was like so intensely written as far as of a relationship, but we're just used to it being the opposite type of intense, like the love and the wanting to be with each other. Yeah. You never saw one person on this end in love and the other person's on this end, and it just never, like you said, no happy ending. It was never I get it now. Oh, I'm so like, it was just, I'm like, why is this happening to him? That's what I'm like, what?
But it's real though, because it really happened like that, man.
Yeah, it's real.
It needs to be written.
That's what hurt my feelings, because I'm like, bro, like how many people has that happened to? Like for real, and you end up going through your entire life, like he did, and that kid was the only kid he ever had, like, and he didn't get to do the things he wanted to do because of how it started. And I feel like that's another thing, like the beginning of how things start does not have to dictate how it ends,
Right.
And but that was the real part of it. Like some people just feel like their lives are ruined or they can't get any better. And it's sad to say he didn't have no money. He couldn't live like he wanted to because of what she demanded. They didn't even go through the court. I'm like, why did he even agree to?
Right. Nothing.
Like he could have. I'm gonna send what I'm gonna send.
And it's not to say that I don't want to read any of his other books or anything like that. I'm just learning what I like, and this one I really just wasn't. I didn't care for it too much.
Yeah, I definitely understand that because there's some books I done picked up and I ain't even honestly I ain't even finished it. You probably only finished it because we had to do this. Because if we didn't have to do this, you wouldn't have finished it. So I understand your frustration. Like, dang, I gotta finish this whole book. I don't like this daggone book. Yeah, honestly, we don't usually read stuff we don't want to read. If we don't like it, we put this sucker down.
Right.
But yeah, like I appreciate it because it was a well written book. It was very. Like, he ain't missed nothing. I mean, he made me like I said, all the detail just made me mad because it just made me hate everything even more. And then you just really learn about the culture of people. Yeah. The African man and how they jumped that man and how they was all disrespectful and talking their other language around him. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It makes you not want to be with an African. I'm sorry. Because I enjoyed it. Like I said, I read the first book, and I feel like we probably should have read that one. I
don't know.
Read that one. I don't think we would have had so much hatred. Like I feel like if we read that one, I know I wouldn't have we would have like some. They shared some things, but like now that I know everything that they went through, it's like but we wouldn't have known how deep this was.
Right. Right.
But it was really good, and I don't know if I would have read this one. I mean, I know I probably still would have because I wouldn't have known, what they actually went through specifically if I was like interested to know that. But this is just I just never read an entire book of a failed relationship, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I agree.
But like I said, this was the second book, and the happy ending was in the first book. It just wasn't with this person, obviously, because she's an idiot and she's evil.
Oh, I don't see a happy ending with her at all.
With anybody.
No.
In a second divorce. Nobody can deal with you. Be a doctor and be by yourself. That's all. Or hoe around. Whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Just leave good people alone. Well, I don't think of never mind. He wasn't a good person.
Who? Oh, the husband?
Yeah.
I don't even know why they got divorced. But still.
Probably because she kept cheating.
Yeah. You so right. I didn't even think about that. Man, she was just horrible all the way around. And she still acting like her crap didn't stink. Like, how can you be that arrogant? Oh my gosh. Ain't no need for no favorite character because Ken Swift was stupid. But he
wasn't no favorite character.
He was all the character to me. Forget those. Shoot. What was that girl? I can't. Abimelech.
Who?
What was her name? It's like they said Abimelech or something like that when they said
it was 3 words, wasn't it, Talisha?
It was. I remember I saw it the first time. I saw it the first time because I was reading. I think I read the first couple, maybe 3 chapters I read before I got the audio.
They know we wasn't gonna be able to know how to say that.
That's why they had Jimmy Lee and what was his name? Jake Ellis.
Yes.
He had a name too, but he
had a name.
Because it'd be hard for us to say that. So, but his character, he was just his buddy, and he told him the truth. To tell you that, no matter what it was, he did always tell the truth. But that boy, he wasn't gonna listen to him.
Jake Ellis, he was sleeping around. That's all he was.
That's all he was doing. Yeah.
But he wasn't married though, so it was okay.
Yeah, like
that's what I'm saying. He wasn't looking to get married. He was just wanting to meet a woman wherever he went.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He
Ken
had one waiting on Ken in Ghana.
Ken wished he had kept that life that he had.
He does.
But oh well, such is life.
Yeah. I just feel like his life. I don't know. I know the money situation kind of had him stuck. And being able to walk away, he probably wouldn't make as much as he did, with that job. So I don't know. Life happens, and you just gotta make the best that you can. Especially once you realize and you come out of that fog, like he was with her. It took him a long time, but it is what it is.
At least he found a good woman and he got his daughter finally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Jimmy Lee ain't died, so
No,
ain't that much of a happy.
It was close. It was close. But I guess that's it. That's all we got.
That's all we got, fam.
That's it. That's the end of it.
Okay. You said bye.
Snap.
Look, I'm mad. Bye, Jimmy Lee. Shoot.
Still mad.
I don't want to read it ever. Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, bye. See y'all next time.